my babes, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kimberly, otherwise known as Mbali. Thank you so much for tuning in. New subscribers, returning subscribers, everyone that is a subscriber and a viewer at this point, you can also be a subscriber. Just putting it out there. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I appreciate you guys stopping by. I really, since the last video, which was eons ago, really gained a lot of new subscribers, and I'm really grateful for it. So we're actually on our way to 1K. So road to 1K, we're coming, we're on our way. I don't know why I'm so hyped today, but if you guys don't know, if you don't follow me on Instagram, for this past week, so it's Sunday today, so for this past week I was engaging in a challenge that 4N started, which was the 7-day 7 faces challenge. And in this challenge, basically there was a different category each and every day, and there was a look that you needed to create each and every day. So I took part of the challenge and I did 6 out of the 7 looks. For this video I am doing the smoky eye tutorial, because when I did it I was like, you know what, I'm learning quite a few tips and tricks, and I've gathered a bit of new information on how to achieve the look that I really want to share with you guys. So if you are interested in that, make sure that you stay tuned to this video until the end, because I really think it's going to be helpful. I really believe it's going to be helpful. Without any further ado, without me holding you up, let's get straight into this video. Cool. Black. Alright, so starting with my brows already done, I'm going in with my black eye pencil, and this is from Diskim. I think it's Disco, that's what it's called. It's really good, I really love it. And I'm gonna go in with this. I've already tight lined with it, and I'm gonna go in and spread this all across my lid area. And the reason why I'm doing this is I'm laying down a base for which my colors are gonna scrub onto and stick onto. It's gonna intensify everything, and it's gonna make my smoky eye make sense, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going in with this. It's not harsh. I know we usually do the step with a gel liner, but I do not have a gel liner. The one that I have actually dried out, and I probably need to get one soon. But I'm going in with this eye pencil because it does the exact same thing. It's nice and creamy, so it easily glides on. So I didn't have a tough time with this at all. It was not harsh on my eyelids at all. So once I have that, I'm going in with my flat shadow blending brush, and I'm going into the shade Mo Bamba in the Color Pop Just My Luck palette. And what I'm going to do over here is I'm just going to pack the eyeshadow all over my eyelid. So with the type of brush, all the brushes that I'm using right now are the brushes that I used on my look when I did it for Instagram. So I'm just tapping over the color with the same brush. I can blend with this brush, but I decided not to do that. I'm just tapping the color over there with the brush, and yeah, that's what I'm doing at this point. You can absolutely use more blacks after this and browns, and that's actually what I did for my Instagram post, but I decided not to do that for now. What I'm doing right now is I'm going in with my second shade, which is the shade Act Natural, as I showed you in the clip, and I'm going to start blending out that line of demarcation. And I'm holding my brush at the end, having a loose hold, so it's easier for me to actually blend and have a seamless blend. The closer you hold your brush, the more control you have, and the less likely it is for you to have a flawless blend. But I did switch it up actually, because I noticed that it just gives like a blown out effect, and it doesn't get rid of that line of demarcation. So I'm going to hold my brush a bit closer, and I'm going to go in circular motions to try and get rid of that line of demarcation. And I'm just dipping once or twice into the shade Act Natural, because the focus really is getting rid of the line of demarcation. If it was just shadow, it would be easier, but because we have that eye pencil that I laid on the lid, it's kind of a bit more tough, but I'm up for the challenge. Okay, so at this point you'll see that I decided on a shape, and that shape was a rounded shape. I'm not blowing the shadow out in a wing shape, I'm blowing it out in a rounded shape at the edges. So I'm just making sure that I'm keeping with that, and also I'm making sure that it goes tiny and big towards tiny in the inner corner, and larger and more blown out towards the outer part of the eye. Okay, so I'm holding my brush loosely again because I saw that I got a bit rid of that line of demarcation, and I'm just blowing out that eyeshadow again. Again, for my post on Instagram, I went in with blacks, just a tad tap or two of blacks and browns, and that actually intensified the color more, but I decided just to stick to the palette for this. But you can use the exact same technique to achieve what I achieved. It's just with different colors. So I'm going into the shade Act Natural, and I'm going back and forth, blending that out and making sure that my eyeshadow is really blended. I really don't mind spending a lot of time blending eyeshadow because it really determines how your look is going to be. I'm blending in circular motions, but circular motions is absolutely not the only way that you can blend. You can blend by just tapping the eyeshadow, so it really isn't, it shouldn't be that much of a chore for us to blend out our eyeshadow. Seriously. Okay, so I decided to go in with the brown. Like I said, I wanted to use the exact same brushes to achieve the same look, but it seems that I dipped in a bit of a darker brown previously, and today I've dipped in a lighter brown, and I wasn't rid of the eyeshadow, so it created a massive, like, harsh line in between the bottom section of my brow and that shadow. I didn't like how that looked, so I just decided to stick with the green, and I went in with a clean blending brush to just blend out all of that shadow that I had over there, and then I'm gonna go back into it with the greens and just blend everything out seamlessly. You really want to spend time on blending. If your eyeshadow is not blended, it's honestly not cute, and it doesn't give that clean look to your makeup once you are done, and that's the last thing that you want with a smoky eye. Smoky eye, it does take a little less effort, and it doesn't have to be neat, but when you're having more than one color, just make sure that the gradient in your eyeshadow is clear in the form of blending. So I'm just going back and forth with the color Mobamba and Act Natural, just to get the desired intensity on my eye. Okay, I'm looking good over there. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to be wiping off the fallouts, a lot of fallouts from that one shade, but I'm just making my last blending touches. I will go in with it again. Then I'm going to go straight into my face makeup, and I'm using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. And again, like I mentioned, I'm not sure if I mentioned, but one thing that I want to focus on with a smoky eye or an eye where the eyeshadow is all over the eye is you really want to focus on the face makeup. And again, I'm going in with my MAC illuminator. You want to focus on the face makeup because the face makeup needs to be flawless, else it's going to look like a mess, because a smoky eye can look like a mess, a beautiful mess, but it can look like a mess. So if you pair it with face makeup that's not neat, it's messed up. Going in with my foundation, I'm using my Lancome Tiny Doll, and I'm mixing it with this Estee Lauder Double Wear in the shade Cinnamon. A while back, a few months back, I was considering getting the Estee Lauder, and I got the sample for the shade that would match me, and I ended up not getting it, and I never used the sample. This is my first time using it, and when I tell you guys that I am so impressed with how it performed, like, I know people rave about it, but there's like two spectrums. People either completely love it or they completely hate it. So I wasn't like too excited or too keen to get into it, but mixing it with my favorite foundation, the Lancome foundation, really just made the combos communicating. Like, yeah, I might actually consider getting this foundation looking good. Going in with concealer right now, and I'm using the Maybelline Age Rewind eraser,
And again, like I said, flawless face, and what a flawless face demands is for you to be extremely precise. So I'm not using the applicator to apply the concealer to my face. I'm dispensing it on the back of my hand, and then I'm applying it with the brush on my face. This will just ensure like a really flawless look and control over the products. I don't have too much product, and I don't have to blend excessively as well. So you'll notice that the bottom of my eye I left open. I did accidentally delete some footage of me applying my second concealer and my contour, but I left that bottom section open because I'm actually going to be using a lighter concealer right below my eye. And yeah, that is basically for that. I also don't have the footage of me completing the bottom half of the bottom section of my eye, but that's perfectly fine because again, I just used the same shadows and I smoked it out at the bottom, and I used my eyeliner, the same pencil, to just line my eyes and make it nice and dark. Now in team was my mascara, so that's basically what you miss, folks. Okay, so I usually don't reverse contour, but again, because it's a smoky eye, or at least how I interpret the smoky eye, I want everything else to be snatched. So I'm reverse contouring, but I'm making sure that I am doing everything nice and seamless, because what I don't like about reverse contouring sometimes is the fact that it can be really harsh and it doesn't come across nice in photographs especially. But I'm reverse contouring, and I'm also using my brush to blend out all the concealer. I usually use a brush, and again, that's just preference, but I absolutely love how this turned out. It blended so beautifully. Okay, so these are the concealers and the foundation shade that I used for contour that I went in with that you missed, and then it turned out into this right here. I use my Yardley powder as usual, and I use to set my contour. I actually use my NYX highlight and contour palette, and I am going in over here just to create my nose contour. Again, the inner corners or the inner part of the eye I like to warm up with my contour shade or my bronzer shade, and sometimes really take it in towards the lid area when it's like a smoky eye, just to open up the eye more and create more intensity. And of course, whenever you're contouring your nose, you want to take it straight up into the brow so it doesn't look too harsh. I didn't do much blending for this nose contour over here. I would have loved to do more blending, but it is what it is. Going in with my blush, I think one of the important things with blush is just making sure that it the shade that's used on your face really matches the color on the eye. So this green, I really love this color for the green. And again, my blush, I'm focusing on the high points of my face. Usually I would focus it on the apples on my cheek and maybe bring it in a bit, but because this is like a smoky eye that I'm going for, I'm focusing the product outward just to give my face a bit of a lift, and so that the eyes can come forward, you know, and it also kind of snatches you like in a nice way. So I'm focusing my blush over there, and I'm also taking it to the temples, and that's how I look all blended out. Hey, going in with my highlighter, it's from Colourpop. I think I'm using a lot of Colourpop products, but I really love this highlighter. It's a loose highlighter, and I usually don't gravitate towards highlighter. I only highlight my nose, but I'm deciding to highlight the sides of my face, and mainly because this is a smoky eye that I'm doing and everything is matte. So I think just adding that bit of highlighter is just going to bring a nice liveliness to the face. And again, the highlighter, I'm focusing really on the inner parts of my cheeks just to highlight that section over there, and it's a nice contrast to the blush that I have. So highlights where I usually highlight, going in with my lip color, and that's how we're looking.
Guys, it just happened now where I deleted my footage completely, and I really wanted to do it over, but I didn't want to put my skin through that, and I'm really exhausted. It's really late. If you would please bear with me and please forgive me for deleting that footage and not having the strength and the courage to refilm it. If you could please just tune into my video next week, where I will be recreating one of my looks, you will see every single step. You won't miss any step. But if you really can't wait until then, you can check my previous videos on how I do my skin makeup, and that's how you will kind of gauge what it is that I did to achieve this. If you are down for that, if you are down for this channel, down for this look, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment down below, and let me know what you want to see in my next video. And if you haven't already, please connect with me on social media. I will leave all the links to my socials in the description box below, and we can definitely connect, you know. Thank you so much for stopping by, for tuning in, for watching this video until the end, and I will see you guys in the slow-mos at the end and in my next video. Love and light to you.